This weekend, I attended my friend's bachelor party, and my one friend woke up feeling like absolute dog shit the next day. But after a while, I got sick of his excuses. So I played a loop of "I'm so fresh you could suck my nuts" for 35 minutes before he got up and turned it off.
Thralls! Balls! They're everywhere!
Thralls Balls, the World of Warcraft podcast with a dirty mind and a clean behind. Hosted by Bentolis, Gershom, and Wooly. What's up, swingers? This is episode 22 of Thralls Balls. I am Wooly, Gershom's here, and we have a guest for the first time since, I think, episode 5 that was. We have Adorno. How's it going, Adorno? How you doing?
Hey.
Adorno is here to fill in the blanks on anything we might not be smart enough to know about, like, the lawsuit and shit like that, because that's going to come up in conversation later. But not right this second. So, how about we just get around to talking about what we've all been up to in game? I'll start because I didn't even log in. It has been a crazy fucking week and a crazy weekend bachelor party thing that I was at. But I have resolved to log in at least twice a week from here on out. It's going to be more, but the lowest I'll go is twice. So how about you, Adorno? What have you been up to in game?
What up, swingers? So, I have been playing with my mage, Avalanche, with Uno Moss. I didn't raid this week, which was kind of a bummer. I had some other stuff come up. But also been leveling my Paladin, who's a Draenei Paladin, and it's been fun to see people in game and do a little bit of content with people.
That's actually something I forgot to mention is, Adorno, you and I are technically a part of the same raid team. I just have been taking a break.
Yeah, it was great that one night when we were doing epic raid stuff.
That one time, yeah.
That one time. It was fun to have you on the comms, and hope to see you back someday soon.
9.2 is the plan, but maybe before if I get bored.
Yeah.
So what else have you been?
I got a cool staff from the vault.
Nice. What'd you get?
Gnarled Staff of the Elder Shaman.
That sounds like a penis reference. Blizzard, relax it immediately.
I was not gonna fucking say that shit. Oh my god, screw you guys. I was holding back dick jokes so bad.
How long has
never.
it been?
Okay,
listen. We are 1 minute into the pod.
Never.
Oh, we're off the rails already, dude.
Never.
Get used to it.
Ever hold back the dick joke. Unless it's, like, icky. Anyway, do you have anything? Did anything else go down, Adorno, or was that about it?
You know, that was about it. I did some flying around to parts of the map I haven't been to before.
Nice.
You know, that's always fun when I get a chance to do that.
Cool. I forgot to mention, y'all, just like last week, this might end up being a bit shorter of an episode. I don't have a story to plop in at the end, and question of the week isn't happening because of the same reason as last week, but we will have a new question to ask later. But because of those things, we're gonna be a little chopped down, probably. It depends. Gershom, what you been up to in game?
Well, first of all, I am disappointed in my friend Adorno because he, as well as Immune, Aaron, Vanderlyle, and Chainkek, helped No Tokas finish their time walking this week. So so I went from 138 to 150. I guess she's about to haul ass into heroics, which shouldn't be so hard because I think I'm just going to be doing that with Uno Mas alts and stuff like that. So it should be pretty fun. Yeah.
I am so sorry, Gershom. Was that just, I'm
no,
a little lost on the timing. I thought that was last technically.
No, it's okay. I wasn't really mad at you. I was just fucking with you.
That's super fun though. Every time I get to see people like Gershom and people from the Discord in game.
Yeah, so we ran, I think, 3 of them, right? And we actually had to come up with a strat. I ran out of time for my notes, but there was like a weird strat So I don't remember the name of the dungeon, but it's the one where you fight the echoes of like Bane and Jaina, and then you fight this weird like bronze dragon guy at the end, and you fight the echo of Sylvanas and all this stuff. And we lost on Bane like Adorno. How many times was it? Like 4 or 5
I'd
times?
say 4.
It was 4 or 5 times. He
Was-
kept like
Killing the
leaping
islands
onto
you're on.
random islands and blowing us up.
Was this Cataclysm?
Yeah, it was the
Then the
Time
dungeon
walking.
is called End Time.
That
End
was it.
time. Yep, you're
Yeah,
right.
Bane was Echo of Bane or something was bad for us, and so we had to figure it out.
Yeah, and none of us had ever done it at current content. I'm like, we're fucked. Like all of us were like, no. So we actually had to huddle together, and we figured out how to use a Warlock Gate to jump from island to island before Bane got there.
Oh.
And basically the range had to beat him down. And I think on the 4th or 5th time we got him down, which is kind of funny because I think we're all kind of used to like casual raiding and casual heroics and stuff like that at least. And we were getting wiped on this fucking Cataclysm time walking dungeon. So that was a lot of fun. It was fun to like huddle up and make some strats, and we had some laughs and stuff. Other than that, Gershom got his fucking legendary helm.
Woo!
Hey, yup.
Nice.
And that was fun because I had done that with Crucifix and his son Wheels, who's in the Discord
What up,
now.
Six?
Yeah, and Wheels. What up, Wheels?
Sup?
Yeah, but he seems
Got
cool.
got my first adamant vaults on that because he got me a flawless on a 12, which is unheard of. I
Wow.
basically
He
I
carried
got
you?
yeah, I didn't
my God.
I didn't want to. I don't like getting carried because of my stupid pride, but whatever.
No
I don't
shame.
like getting
I would
carried.
get carried by that guy.
Dude, it was crazy. Like he was sitting at the end. He's like, "Where you at?" And I'm like plugging along here. And I would get to the end and the boss was dead. Like he plays a demon hunter though, so he was literally like flying and gliding and leaping ahead of me. And I was like, I have old man feet. I am just walking. So
He's like, I'm gonna
stupid.
put you on chest duty. Just hit those buttons until the chest opens.
Kind of, pretty much. Yeah, that's what happened. Other than that, I'm almost done. Just plugging away on Death's Advance and Archivist Codex, just coming along with that. Not a big deal. And I've kind of been having the Jones for a mount. I haven't got a mount since Invincible dropped, like I think 3 weeks ago. So I've committed to farming my Pandaria mounts. So that would be Shaw of Anger, the Serpent by the Throne of Thunder, and Undasta. I've been trying all of those, and I'm also committing to doing all the world quests and dailies for Nightfey, Meldraxxus, and Court of Varandus. Varandus, because they all drop chests that have mounts. That's a lot right now. I know there's more, but that's my shit right now. That's what I want to do. And then there is a Corpsefly and Taurus mounts in the Meldraxxus Covenant that are different colors that I would like, and that's Anima. So I've been farming a lot of Anima too. Oh, and I'm within like 300 Anima of completing my Build-A-Bomb factory.
Oh shit. Nice.
Yeah, so that's gonna be like some achievements or whatever. It's gonna be 5, so I think I'll be totally done with that. And then after that, like it's just gonna be mounts and mods and stuff. And other than
Route
that,
is
that's
over.
it. Yeah, that's it.
So back to the mounts. Do you have the Onyxian Drake?
I do. I got that years ago
Oh,
randomly.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that is a fun
have it?
mount. I do have it. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to think of other mounts you could probably go after. Like, do you have Ashes of Alar?
I do.
Do you have the Swift White Hawk Strider?
I do.
Stop it! Damn it!
I'm sorry.
I'm running out of ideas.
No, we're good.
Anyway,
What do you not have?
what do I not have? I'm not telling you that because then you're gonna go after it.
You don't have
also,
Blanchy.
I
I do
don't
not-
have Blanchy.
I do not have Blanchy, and I don't have. You know what? I don't have a lot of the new stuff. I have
I
a lot of the
would-
ones you can go back and farm on the old school stuff.
People don't really set up waiting rooms for Blanchy anymore, I've noticed. But they probably still are for Fallen Charger if you try to do that. And
What's
the 9 drops a reskin of the Fallen Charger, but And like you can get that on LFR too.
Oh wow. So normal LFR, heroic.
They all drop that mount on the 9, where you fight 3 people, but it's the 9.
And there's that one where the little Night Fate chick calls you over. What she called? Like there's like another unicorn or horse in Korthia. I haven't
what
even
the hell
done
is
that
that
one
horse's name?
I can't remember.
Oh, not the Wilderling. Melee?
Melee.
Yeah.
I was like 2 steps away from renaming that horse Larry. Larry the horse. Anyway, was that it for you?
That's it for me.
All right, before we move on to Mixed Drink of the Week, I've
Wait,
apologies.
Did you talk about what you've done?
Yeah, there wasn't a damn thing.
He didn't do anything.
Nothing?
So, before we move on to the Mixed Drink of the Week, I owe apology to Ben Tolis because I didn't mention him at all until now. And he's not here again because my fault again. He, I believe, has raid tonight, and we're recording on a Thursday, so I'm sorry.
Wait, that's the opportunities for a shout out though, because he got into his mythic raid team for sure.
Right. He did
Fuck
that.
Yeah. Put a round of applause for Bentolis, y'all.
Now that I think about it, didn't he get word that he got that acceptance like right at the end of when we were recording last week and we shouted it out? I don't remember.
He had accidentally like locked himself out of raid or something on accident, but they invited him back, and that's where he is tonight. And I think he said in our host chat that they're up to Painsmith.
He's expecting to kill Mythic Painsmith. Holy shit.
Man.
Holy shit.
That's hardcore.
Go Bent. Go Bent.
All right, so let's move on to the Mixed Drink of the Week. It's time for the Mixed Drink of the Week. Fuck yeah! Welcome to the Mixed Drink of the Week section. This is where we are having a drink that we make every week that is the drink of that week. And the week's drink is the drink of that week. The drink we have is that week's drink. Have I made that clear? We have been going backwards through the armor types in reverse alphabetical order, and we have finally made it all the way to the male armor. And going in reverse alphabetical order means we're starting with the lowest letter, S. So there's the hunter, there's the shaman. So we're doing the shaman, specifically the Resto Shaman. And the Resto Shaman's drink is the Riptide. Now, please only partake of the Mixed Drink of the Week, or any alcohol for that matter, if you're of legal age or legal whatever to do so, and we are not responsible for anything you may say, do. Shut the fuck up. We're not responsible for any mistakes you make. There we go. So, you guys, this is the Riptide for the Shaman, the Resto Shaman. And Adorno, I want to hear what you think is going to be in it before I ask Gershom.
So I had to look this one up. I'm not a Resto Shaman, and I think I've benefited from this spell before, but I'm not very familiar with it. My understanding is that this is a very restorative drink, and so it's going to be refreshing. It's going to be wet and watery. I think there might be coconut water in it. I think that there might be rum and coconut water.
So you're thinking rum and coconut water.
Yeah, Riptide. Taking it out to sea.
Gershom, what do you think is in it?
I feel, Wooly, like you're trying to trick me into saying the name of the purple Gatorade, which I am not going to say, even though it's in the name of the drink.
Because you're not a cop.
Because I'm not a fucking cop like Bent, who shouted it out a few episodes ago. So that, I'm not going to say it. It's purple fucking Gatorade. And honestly, I was so focused on that, I could not come up with booze. And also, I was confused about the booze because... confused about the booze. Because last week you told me that you basically took all the leftover booze to your friend's bachelor party. So I really have no idea what you have on deck. But
I still have some of that left. because apparently everybody
Okay.
else also brought every alcohol they own.
Wow. Did you pick anything up from the bachelor party and bring it home?
No, but I did buy, this is so unrelated, I did buy a bottle of Cuervo that no one drank, so I have Cuervo now. I'm sorry,
That's nice.
Gershom. What is your guess?
Nope. I literally was more focused on not saying the R word and just saying purple Gatorade. Honestly, I'm floundering on this one. I want to hear what you came up with, though, so bad.
Okay. Well, what is in the Riptide for the Resto Shaman? This is essentially a gin and tonic with a little bit of blue sugar on the rim and in the drink. So
Nailed
the
it.
blue sugar
Oh, man, that sounds
makes
great.
it a little the blue is like, water. So everybody's favorite thing, listen to this.
Oh, yeah. Grind that. Woo.
Oh yeah, making that rim nice and sweet.
I like the groan in the background while you grind the sugar on the rim.
Oh, that's just Carl.
No, that was Gershom.
Okay, I never can get enough sugar on there, but I wasn't just doing that to have the prolonged sound effect. I was having trouble getting it to stick. So,
No, fuck you. That was our Asmer segment.
Asmer, like ASSMUR. Yep, I'm deciding. Asmer. I know what you were actually going for. Okay, so I've got sugar on the rim and sugar in the cup. I have procured about a shot's worth of Tanqueray London Dry Gin. Yeah.
I'm actually allergic to gin, so I will never try this.
Are you?
What? Gin
Whoa.
and tonic
Yeah,
is such a good
no.
drink.
When I drink gin, my throat swells up.
When I drink gin, fear gets really uncomfortable about why I'm doing that. Do you get it? Oh shit! Oh shit! The tonic overflowed.
Also, I'm diabetic, so I can't drink tonic. This one is totally out of the ballpark for me.
And there's a fuck ton of sugar in it. Okay, so I am covered in fucking tonic water right now. And
Nice.
I'm talking
Is
away
that
Well-
part
from
of
the
the drink,
microphone.
part of the Riptide?
Welcome, Adorno. Oh, dude, it riptide it on you. Fuck. Hell no. Adorno.
I got wetted on. Oh, God. All right. So, to refresh, blue sugar on the rim and in the cup, 1 shot of Tanqueray gin, and some tonic water. Over the lips, through the gums, look out, asshole. I like that.
Nice.
I like it a lot.
Isn't Tanqueray the one that turns blue if you put on the dark light, right?
I think just
I
the
don't know.
bottle is blue on that one.
This one sort of turned blue because it's got blue sugar in it, too. So
So the flavor text on that spell says restorative waters wash over a friendly target. And I think that's what happened to you.
Well,
That
at
is-
least he is a friendly target.
You're a friendly target and your drink just washed over you.
why does that sound dirty and sexual? It sounds
I was
dirty and
trying
sexual.
to.
Cause you're a fucking freak. How was the drink? How was the drink?
It was all right. It was all right. It honestly, it kind of, probably because of all the sugar, sort of tasted like a slightly alcoholic Sprite. I recommend it.
Yum.
So then next week will be, let's see, there's elemental and there's enhancement. So I'm guessing enhancement. Yeah, that's how the alphabet works. So let's say, I don't remember any. I should have had this ready. Da, 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 da. Oh, I almost wrote enchanting shaman. Enhancement shaman abilities. Pretty much going with the first thing I see. Aren't I so good at this? I'm so fucking good at podcasting that I am totally not ready for this.
Unironically, I think you are. I'm a big fan of TB.
Well, thank you.
You're gonna have to come out to TBCon 2022. We're gonna have
Which-
people coming.
I am now on board with calling it that. It took a while, but they won me over.
I was jealous. I missed the last one.
That's a long flight from the Pacific Northwest, though, to be fair. I mean, we don't blame you. It was the first one, but it did pop a little bit. I'm kind of hoping it pops a little more next year. I was
Lava
trying
Lash.
to get
Oh shit!
Lava
I'm sorry.
Lash. No, you're
I
good.
was
Lava
tuned
Lash.
out. Yes, enhancement drink is Lava Lash.
Ooh.
All right.
God.
Did you want to finish what you were saying?
Oh no, we were just chatting while you were looking up the drink, I think.
Chit chat. Okay, let's move on to WoW news then.
Time for WoW News. Motherfuckers.
All right, WoW news time. There was a couple things that popped into the WoW news today when I wrote the notes last night. So this is not going to have as much information as I would like. But Blizzard is doing a classic refresh, like a fresh start, but with hashtag slightly more changes. Notably, leveling is going to be easier. They said more on par with leveling in Burning Crusade. The bosses for the raid phases are going to be... There's going to be some things that change to make it a little harder. For example, world buffs will not work in them. And I know somewhere out there somebody's really pissed off about that. Most people, I imagine, would be like, sweet, I don't have to go get world buffs anymore. There's a few other things, and I've forgotten about all of them, but I'm actually pretty stoked about this. I want to give it a shot. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a good idea to kind of try Classic again, but with hashtag slightly more changes?
Go ahead, Adorno, since you're the guest, please.
I'm probably not going to do Classic. Thanks for the offer, Blizz. Thanks for making it a little more enticing. I'm having fun with retail.
Honestly, I'm probably going to do that thing where I say, yeah, I'm excited about this. I'm going to give it a shot. And then I log in, log out, and then don't log back in. That's probably going to happen. What do you think, Gershom?
I played vanilla. I have no interest in classic. And honestly, I think that I feel like Blizzard is doing more changes to classic to accommodate classic players who kind of want it to be like retail. I might be mistaken, and y'all can scream at me on Twitter or whatever. That's fine. My DMs are open. But I feel like if
that's
you're
dangerous.
if you're gonna, it's been fine so far. We'll see.
You heard, Gershom. Yell at her.
I ain't afraid of shit, bitch. Come at me. I'm just playing. So I feel like a lot of people who went back to classic don't like classic for what it is, and they want these fucking things. I don't know. You guys probably try. You understand what I'm saying. I think Wooly does,
do.
because he understands how I get with my ADD, and I just can't finish a sentence.
I
But
definitely
he
understand
feels
what
me.
you're saying.
Yeah, he feels me. It's basically like, if you want to play classic, then go, with all due respect, go fucking play classic. Don't ask for a bunch of fucking nerfs to make classic easier, because that's not the point. You guys originally begged for classic so that you could have classic. If you want a nerfed game that's fun and easy to play, then fucking play retail. I'm sorry, you can edit out as much of this as you want, because I'm ranting a bit, but I can't believe that all these fools went to play classic, and now they're like, oh, it's too hard. Like, yeah, it's fucking hard. I
Yeah,
played
well, no,
vanilla. I know.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's actually what's happening with what Blizzard's doing. It's the leveling is easier, sure, but there's going to be a lot of other things that it's like quality of life changes, like summoning stones, for example. But the main thing that they wanted to tackle is people want a harder raiding experience for classic, because those raids went down like nothing. So they're buffing, well, not buffing, they're just making it harder to kill those bosses. So it's not necessarily easier other than like the leveling I don't know. I feel like we don't necessarily have a lot of information, and I certainly didn't write down enough because this dropped today and I was at work, but I think it's worth trying.
Well, like, this is a dumb example. So did either one of you play vanilla?
I did not, sadly.
I did.
Adorno, you did. So did you play Horde or Alliance though?
Horde, baby. Although now
Okay.
I'm Alliance.
Okay,
Sorry.
good. Okay, no, that's fine. So remember the original Wailing Caverns when you would like fall? There was like that classic fucking thing where everyone would die because you would fall and you'd hit the fucking mobs and you would die. So like a long time ago, I texted someone and who was playing Classic, and I DM'd them and I'm like, hey, did they fix that or did they leave it like super challenging? And they're like, no, they left that as nerfed. Like they left it fixed in vanilla. And at that point, like my heart just sort of sunk. I'm like, this is just leading into like a place where they're just gonna continue to kind of make these little nerfs to Classic. I don't know. I'm being too hardcore at this point. I'm just like, if you want to go play Classic, go play Classic. But I honestly, I'm being rude, but I feel like they shouldn't have really fixed anything. Not the gold drops, not the dungeons. If you want to play Classic, go play Classic. I played it. I'm over it. I'm in retail. I'm done. Sorry. Mic drop.
Right, but again, this isn't a nerf. This is a tweak, you could say, because the raids are still harder. The dungeons are probably about the same as they were, but I just don't see it as a nerf, so to speak.
No, I mean, maybe my vocabulary is wrong, but I've heard a lot of people too that I chat with on Twitter and stuff saying that they thought the raids were like a little bit easier, but that could be because we know how to do them now.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, I know I'm being a little rude. You can take out as much of this as you like.
No, your opinion's your opinion. I'm not taking that out. I'm not going to put you in a box. I'm not going to silence you. Gershom out loud 2022. Fuck yeah. And the rest of 2021.
And for
Yeah.
the rest of my fucking life, I'll probably
Hell
be
yeah. Gershom out loud.
life.
Fuck yes. Although speaking of Classic, I'm gonna hop ahead here in my notes. I'm just gonna point out Blizzard is opening up free transfers in WoW Classic. This is not BC Classic. This is Classic. And we haven't really talked about Classic very much on this show, but select realms are going to have free transfers, all of which direct you either to Mankrik or Whitemane. And that sounds very much like a North American thing. EU, I don't know if it's different there. I don't know. I'm not going to read out all these things, so go check out the article on Wowhead. And while you're at it, also in the notes is the link to Blizzard's post about this. I'm calling it Classic Refresh, even though I don't think that's what they called it, like a restart. Anyway, go check that out. Speaking of other changes, and this is something that also dropped today that I know Gershom was pretty excited to talk about. We're getting an Incubus is part of this.
Whatever tomorrow brings.
They're gonna shove an entire band into the game, but
Yep.
we are getting an Incubus. Like, you can get a male form for your succubus as a warlock if that's what you want. They haven't really said when, but it's coming. I mean, they've been saying that for a few years, but I think now they're going to actualize it because they have been updating innuendo references in Warcraft. Some things I feel like are going a little too far. Like Bent pointed out in our Discord that there is a fisherman named Master Bader something, and it's a clear joke, and he's gone. But apparently, all these different changes they're making, such as adding male ghosts to the Maiden of Virtue trash in Karazhan, and there's a few other things, seem to be in line with their, so far, in my opinion, small attempts to be more inclusive. I think it's a good move to be doing these things. Let's see it continue and get bigger, because we still have Alexstrasza and Ysera running around looking like that. Maybe that'll change. Maybe it doesn't have to. I don't know.
Is that sarcasm, my friend?
I don't know. I don't listen to myself when I talk. But apparently these changes have been... I would recommend reading the blue post about it, but they have been apparently the result of research among the employees, like the actual, not the big name employees, the small employees who work there and want their game to be a good game, as well as players. But I'm surprised about that, because I feel like that would have been posted somewhere. But anyway, I'm cautiously optimistic about this. Some stuff I feel like it's going too far, like this isn't an innuendo thing, it's like a toxicity thing, but they're removing some emotes like fart and spit and shit, and I don't like that.
No, they're not removing fart, are they?
There's an article, I forgot about it.
Oh no, gasp.
I
know that some of these changes are made for people who aren't me, and I think that it's an interesting moment for the company where, maybe they're playing it safe and removing things that could be misinterpreted. For me and a lot of the people who I play with, you guys included, it seems like we can make a distinction between something that's like sex and something that's sexual harassment that crosses the line.
Right.
And like the masturbator NPC, like that could be just funny, It
is funny.
Self-love.
It was funny to me.
That's positive, It's like there's nothing necessarily wrong, but if Blizzard does have a hard time differentiating between, just something that's sexy and funny and something that like crosses the line, maybe they're just trying to play it safe and take out any guesswork there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things that they're just playing it safe on. I didn't put this in the notes because it's Overwatch, not WoW, but there was a pizza shop in an Overwatch 2 build that was a reference to Jeff Kaplan, who has since left Blizzard. And I saw, they removed Jeff Kaplan's reference. I'm like, oh shit, please tell me Jeff didn't do anything gross. So far, doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like they're just getting ahead of all these things, not naming anything in the game after any developer anymore, and I think that's symptomatic of that. But, as skeptical as I am about these small things that are like small potatoes that Blizzard has been doing, I'm also hopeful because it's something, and I just hope to see these kind of things continue and expand and get bigger things change, particularly their work environment,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is like the like warming up of the pot, and they will do something better. I also heard that moving forward, they've kind of quit the practice of naming NPCs after employees, which I always thought was kind of a weird idea, but I'm like, it's cool. It's a shout out. Like, I didn't really care. But in lieu of all this, and in retrospect, I think it's a good idea that they just moving forward don't name NPCs after employees anymore, because basically you never know what's going to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, I probably didn't word it well. That's what I was getting at with the Jeff Kaplan thing. Like, I initially panicked when I saw they removed a reference to Jeff Kaplan from Overwatch, but then realized it was basically what you're saying, that they're just being careful.
Yeah, I get you.
So, I guess as long as we are doing pretty much all of these notes in the wrong order, but that is totally fine because that's the way the conversation's flowing. I guess since we're moving in that direction with the discussion, there is a new settlement, and by new I mean not new, just hasn't really been spoken much about. After a 3-year investigation by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, Blizzard has agreed to a settlement that includes, I believe, what did it say? an $18 million victim compensation fund. So I'm just going to go ahead and read the first paragraph of Wowhead's article on this because I think it's very succinct. Well, maybe not succinct, but it's well written. Activision Blizzard has reached an agreement with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, to settle claims and further strengthen policies and programs to prevent harassment and discrimination in the company's workplace, establishing an $18 million compensation fund to make amends to eligible victims of harassment and gender inequality issues, with any leftover amounts divided between charities that advance women in the video game industry or promote awareness, company diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. The company also announced an initiative to develop software tools and training programs to improve workplace policies and practices for employers across the technology industry. Now, it's really unfortunate, is putting it lightly. It's really unfortunate that it took legal intervention from many different places, because this does not supersede or affect the lawsuit that's in place by the state of California. But it is just depressing that it took that much legal involvement to make these things happen. But I'm glad they are happening. This is a good move. It's not quite enough just yet. Before I ask what you guys think, and especially Adorno, because this is why we asked you here, thank you for coming. I want to point out, at first when I was reading it, what jumped out to me was the phrase eligible victims. And I was like, well, who decides who's eligible? You're not seriously telling me that Blizzard is going to... Blizzard, the people who did this, are going to decide who's eligible to be compensated. But it's not Blizzard. It is the EEOC itself that is determining who is eligible. So, Adorno, what do you have to toss into the pot on this one?
Yeah, there's a lot that I want to talk about, and help me to provide the best discussion I can by asking some questions. I'll start by saying I think this EEOC thing is huge. I actually have worked at the EEOC, and that's this is something that's kind of in my wheelhouse. The consent decree is huge, $18 million, and that's not even covering the administrative costs of administering this fund, which Blizzard's going to have to pay. And Blizzard had this press statement, which I think some of the reporting has been based off of, which they had to, it was a turd they had to polish, and so they've tried to put a good spin on it. But they would not really agree to this without some substantial threat of the lawsuit from the EEOC going the wrong way. And to be clear, the EEOC did file a lawsuit on the same day that this consent decree was supplied to the court. And I haven't seen a court signature on this. I don't think that this has been approved by the court yet, which would be the next step. But it's Blizzard had to be taken kicking and screaming to this consent decree. This was not something that was resolved in mediation.
I'm sorry, consent to what?
So this Blizzard calls it a settlement, and in one respect, I guess it's a settlement, but technically, this is called a consent decree, and it's the same thing that like local police departments have to enter into with the Department of Justice when it's found that they are violating civil rights and like doing too much police brutality. The U.S., Department of Justice, the U.S. attorneys will sue, like the city of Seattle, where I live. They have a consent decree because there was too much police violence. And so we have federal Department of Justice overseeing what our local police department is doing. And they have to do regular court check-ins. This is that sort of thing. This is a consent decree where Blizzard was found to have violated the law for so long and was so intransigent and refused to do the right thing, given a few opportunities, that they actually had to, I think EEOC had to file the lawsuit to get Blizzard to actually sign this thing.
Oh, Jesus.
Blizzard didn't want more bad press. And so on Monday, the EEOC filed this thing. And the very same day, Blizzard said, okay, enough's enough. We're gonna give in.
Well,
This
I
is not
didn't
good
know
for
that.
Blizzard. I mean, they're trying to polish the turd, but this is huge, and I think it's a real victory for the people who work there.
Oh yeah, definitely. What bums me out about it then is that it shows that Blizzard at the highest levels at a company doesn't actually want to change a damn thing. So I really worry about how sincere these things they're putting in place will be, if how much of it'll stick.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things they could have done voluntarily before getting to this point. So I don't really trust Blizzard to have the best motivations. And I think that's kind of also besides the point. It's a big company. It's beholden to its shareholders, and that's kind of the nature of a large company like Blizzard. But I do think that there are positive signs. There's oversight from the federal government right now. The EEOC is, just for context, it's a federal agency that's responsible for anti-discrimination laws at work. So, it's illegal to discriminate against people at work. So you can't discriminate on the basis of their gender, of their race, religion, national origin, age. Those sorts of things are protected categories. And the federal government, they have laws on the books, but very rarely does this get enforced. I mean, discrimination happens across different industries, different workplaces. But the EEOC has limited resources, and they poured it into this. This is something they have been doing for years. And I think this is their LA office, which is, pretty large, well-funded office comparatively. And, this was something they went after. I think the investigation started in 2018. So, this has been something they have been relentlessly pursuing, and it's good that we're finally getting some light shown on this. I mean, Blizzard knew about this at least as early as 2018. And, they also, in the court filings we've seen, they've had knowledge of complaints, internal complaints, going back to like 2015. There's been a problem at Blizzard for a long time. And, everything's just kind of being reckoning. And I think that the EEOC was successful this time because of the California lawsuit, which is, as you pointed out, it's kind of parallel to this. So the EEOC is the federal agency that enforces anti-discrimination laws. California as a state has its own agency that does that just for California. The federal one is kind of nationwide. They have some limits on their jurisdiction, but California also has one that's, they try and California also outlaws discrimination on the state level. And so that's what the California lawsuit that we heard about in July that's still ongoing has been about, is the California laws. But the claims are the same. It's the same claim that women have been paid less than men. Statistically, you can prove this. And that's what both the EEOC and the California Department of, I can't remember the name of the department.
How dare you? You
Equal
know more
Employment,
than
fair
me. but-
housing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've made the same claims. Women have been paid less. There's been that systemic discrimination against women, and there's been a culture of hostility towards women, sexual harassment, and retaliation. There have been women who have brought these complaints up, and they get retaliated against. And this is something that both these agencies have been talking about, and now we have an unfair labor practice charge too, which is a third thing that has been filed against Blizzard.
And let's not forget, because this keeps getting forgotten in all this conversation, somebody died. Somebody felt so let down by Blizzard's refusal to do anything about the situation she was in that she fell into a very deep depression and saw no way out of it other than the worst way out. I don't want to say the word. I don't want to trigger anybody, but you know where I'm going. And
yeah,
it's just,
this is a terrible detail that's come out, and Blizzard hasn't really discussed this. And I think, there's somebody's privacy and there's some sensitivity that we need to show toward that. But yeah, there was a female employee who was forced to go on a business trip, and with a guy who is her supervisor. Her supervisor brought a butt plug and lubricant on the business trip, and she ended up committing suicide after that trip.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we can maybe edit that out if it's too sensitive, but
I'll put a
trigger
trigger warning
here. Yeah, I think it needs a trigger warning, but that's the sort of thing we're talking about here. And I'd also done a little bit of research, and there are private lawsuits that have been filed. So on behalf of individual employees, recently, in the past couple of years, there have been a few harassment discrimination lawsuits filed.
Wasn't there a woman whose some kind of like nude pics were released either because she was dating someone at the company or something like that? Like,
That
I hate to
sounds.
sound uninformed, but it might have been the same girl.
I'm
It
not
might have been the
informed
same
about
girl.
that either, but it does sound familiar. This-
Either way, it's fucking horrible. That's just.
Mhm.
ugh.
I
Ew.
would
Never
love
mind.
to sit here and put out episode after episode talking about this game we love and how fun it is.
Yeah.
But the reality is this is important. And if we lose listeners over it, that's just going to happen because it's too important.
Mm-hmm. So, Wooly, I know I've been kind of ranting about all the shit that's been happening at this company, and there are some positive things I want to talk about at the end. So, it has been positive seeing the federal and state governments looking after people who work in California, people who are working at Blizzard, looking after women. The complaints were pretty well written and showed a real sensitivity to what it's like to work in these companies. And I'm happy to know that these things weren't really gutted after the past administration. I'm also encouraged seeing that the union is involved. The Communication Workers of America filed that unfair labor practice charge to protect workers' right to organize against these hostile and sexist working conditions.
Can I interrupt for a second, Adorno?
Yeah, go ahead.
What, since you're more legally versed than myself, what do you think the odds are of Blizzard employees being able to unionize?
Oh, that's impossible to say. I do know that there is that group, which is sort of like an informal employee association, a better ABK, I think is what they're called. And that's another thing that I'm encouraged about, is just seeing the employees organize themselves. I don't know whether they're going to be organized by the Communication Workers of America or what. I don't know what's going on there. And oftentimes there's a lot of like internal politics to which union represents the employees. And then you have to go through this representation process with the NLRB. So it could take a while for that all to resolve. And I'm really uncertain what the likelihood of that is. But I do know that this is sort of the forefront of labor, and a lot of national unions are looking at how to organize workplaces like Blizzard. And Blizzard is, it's a place where there's a lot of opportunity for workers to stand up for themselves. One of the problems has been that it has been a very top-down company. A lot of the people who are the bad actors that we've learned about, these are the people in management. There were no women, leading the company, and they've finally hired Fran Townsend to kind of add a little bit more diversity at the top. And she was, she's horrible.
She's a nightmare. She's
And
literally a torture apologist.
Yeah, exactly. She is. And so the employees, I think, are kind of seeing through a lot of that spectacle that the management's putting on. And, the employees are the ones who make the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I love about the game is, the care that goes into it and the creativity that you see from the creators. And I think we should just support them. And I think it's cool seeing groups with some authority and power, like, state and federal governments and the unions, paying attention to what these workers are doing. And the player base, too. It's awesome seeing the support from the player base for people who work there.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the insight on all of that. I would not have known what to make of that on my own. That is very informative stuff.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it.
Thanks, Adorno, for answering my question, too. That means a lot. Thank you.
So we do have a couple more news items, but they're a little more fun, and I don't really want to cheapen the discussion we just had by immediately going, but what about the tree changing colors? Yay! So I'm going to roll those over till next week, by which time they'll probably be old news, but I don't care. Excuse me 1 second, I have to cough. So instead, we are going to roll forward with the rest of the show. I'm not going to put a bumper in for this, but we did not have a question of the week last week, but we are asking one now so that you can have an answer for the next week. And that question is, what is your character's backstory in your own headcanon? Like, for example, my warlock, he's a void elf. My headcanon for him is that he was running around Silvermoon doing blood elf shit, and somebody was like, hey mage, and he was like, what? And they're like, you want to play with the void? And he was like, boy, do I. So he goes and does that, and then the blood elves were like, yo void elf people, you gotta get the fuck out of here. So they did, and he was all pissed off. He's like, well, only reason I never studied darker magics was because they told me I couldn't, and now I'm kicked out, so fuck this. And he goes and he becomes a warlock. But that's just my void elf.
Was that Hammond?
No.
I thought Hammond was undead.
Hammond is undead. Hammond is my classic warlock. He's level 14, and he will never be any higher than that.
Because fuck classic.
He plateaued at 14.
Yeah.
But that's just an example. Like, yours can be as ludicrous and stupid as you want, or as serious as you want. You can answer it.
RP.
I love that shit. Like, I don't do RP, but I like having the backstory in mind. It just makes me feel...
I've already got my backstory.
Nice.
I'm literally going to have to make something up this week because Gershom just got into the game and fucking started playing. I don't know. We'll see what I come up.
Maybe
we'll
you
see
could...
what I come up with, though.
It doesn't have to be your... It doesn't have to be your main. It could be even Notokus. It could be a random ass character that's sitting on your account. So y'all can answer that in Discord by going to thrallsballs.com. It'll yeet you directly into our Discord server, which has grown a little bit lately. We've had 3 or 4 new people jump in. A good time. I believe since last the first people to join in a long time were Wheels, Chain Kek, and Shailene, who is my girlfriend. But she hasn't really showed up. So shout out to everybody. Come join us. It's fun. You can also answer the question on Twitter at ThrallsBallsPod. So far, most of our answers have come from Discord. I didn't put it in the notes because I'm a big dumb dummy, but you can email us your answer if you'd like at thrallsballspodcast@gmail.com. So I want to say thank you big time, Adorno, for joining us for the show. Did you have any socials to plug, like Twitch or anything of the kind?
Well, thanks, Wooly. Thanks, Gershom. Thanks, Bent. Sorry that I was hanging out with Miss Wings while you were raiding. But this was a real pleasure.
By hanging out, do you mean you were just strapping yourself in and feeling the cheese?
It was Netflix without the chill.
Yeah, no comment. It was just me and Miss Wings just having some quality time. So, yeah, you can find me on the Thralls Balls Discord, username Adorno, Adorno. I usually shitpost on there. And I'm also playing in game on US Proudmoore Alliance and proud member of Uno Mas Guild, like Notokus, and I forget Wooly's character's name.
Vedrith. I had to think about that.
That guy. Yep. But yeah, this was a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. So
Adorno, you stream sometimes.
Oh no. Like I've done it like once and you were like half the people who were watching me.
This is why we have plugs. Do I have to plug you? Or are you gonna plug yourself?
I don't even know I think it's
Go
Adorno
plug
2.
yourself, Adorno.
It's Adorno 2. Everyone, it's Adorno 2. Go watch him.
Like, subscribe, rate me. I don't know what else you do with Twitch.
We doxed you, Adorno. I'm sorry.
Like button.
No, that's fine. I got nothing to hide. Although I do want to say I am an attorney, but everything I said today was just me speaking as an individual, not as a representative of any law firm or agency. Just me.
Now, do you have to say that legally, or is that just you thinking it's a good idea to say that?
I think it's a good idea.
There we go. So, final thoughts. My final thought is I am still disappointed in Blizzard, but I really hope, really hope that ship can be righted in time. What are you guys' final thoughts?
I got the funny one this time. You want to hear the funny one?
Sure, why not?
All right, let's challenge the listeners to say drink, the words drink and week in 30 seconds, and I'll bet you they cannot say it as many times as Wooly did.
Drink? What? Did I?
Drink of the week.
Never mind, just go back and
Oh,
listen.
shit, yeah, that's right.
He said
That's
drink of the
right.
week a lot.
That was,
I'm fucking with you because every time
I
I
know.
get too serious, I'm just being funny.
I
so.
forgot I did that. That was like a really loose, shitty Monty Python reference.
Oh, I love it. I'm sorry. That was my final thought. And also, thank you to the swingers and thank you to Adorno. I am so fucking glad we had you here.
Yeah, this was fun. What up, swingers? I'll see you on the Discord. That's my final thought.
Sweet. All right, so we're going to get out of here. Again, you can email us at thrallsballspodcast@gmail.com. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter at thrallsballspod. You can follow me, Wooly08, 2 O's, 2 L's, and a Y, Hunter Gershom, Gershom, Bentolis_outlaw, Bentolas. I forgot to say that's Gershom and Bentolis respectively, though you probably could have figured that out. And lastly, you can go to thrallsballs.com to get slapped into our Discord server where the conversation is fun. Bye.
See you next week, swingers. Peace out.
Bye.